Hey guys, welcome to week 6 of the Ncaa football season. Last week, not a good week for me. 1-4. 1-4.
Boo!
Almost 3-2. I think I was like 3 minutes away from being 3-2, but South Carolina and LSU gave up late touchdowns to one lose a game and one not to cover by their point spread. So,
Fucking Gamecocks.
do I have a button? No, this is how we roll. And by the way, you know, if I did that during his video,
Yeah, Mr.
but if I look to my right during this whole shoot, it's because the Cardinal game's on, the playoffs. You know, we're up 7-1 over Pittsburgh, so trying to keep an eye on both. That's my son. So, anyways, let's get started for this week. Not a lot of great games. There's some teams playing, but there's like 30-point spreads and 40-point spreads. I don't even like to mess with those. It's not even fun. So let's get started. First game, we've got Mississippi coming off a bad loss at Alabama. I mean, the offense moved the ball, but they turned it over, couldn't get fourth downs. Not a great showing. They're playing at Auburn. Mississippi's favored by 3 points. I like for Mississippi to rebound here and win this game, so give me Mississippi to cover. Next game, we've got TCU going into Oklahoma, the Bulldozer. Oklahoma's favored by 10.5 points. I'm going to take Oklahoma here. They're really playing well. Had a good game last week at Notre Dame. Give me Oklahoma to cover 10.5. Next game, we've got Missouri, my school, going on the road for their first SEC game, going to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is favored by 1.5. The line actually started at 2.5 earlier in the week. I'm kind of torn on this game. Vanderbilt has a good passing game, and that worries me against Missouri's defense. But I like Missouri to make up for last year's game that they had a lot of injuries. Quarterback didn't play. Number one receiver didn't play. I see them going in here and winning a close game. I think it's going to be a really good game, 27-23, 30-27, somewhere in that range. But I like Missouri to go on plus 1.5. Next game, we've got Ohio State going on the road playing Northwestern. Probably one of the few games that Ohio State has a chance of losing. Them and, I guess you could say, Alabama kind of not scheduling a great schedule this year. So Ohio State's favored by 7.5 points. Northwestern, good team, but they've really not looked as sharp this year against some weaker opponents. So I'm going to take Ohio State to cover 7.5. Another good game on the West Coast. You've got Washington, improved this year under Sarkisian, going on the road to Stanford. Stanford's favored by 8.5. This Stanford team, I'm telling you right now, they always play well against Oregon. If they can win this game and get by Oregon because they play them at home, they could make a run toward a championship game. So I'm going to take Stanford here and cover 8.5. Next game, we've got Georgia going on the road to Tennessee. Tennessee, it's going to take a year or two to rebuild. Georgia's favored by 11.5, coming off an impressive victory against LSU. I worry about a trap game, a letdown after a big game like that, because the toughest part of Georgia's schedule is over. They've played Clemson, they've played Carolina, they've played LSU. They don't have a lot of big games left, so you might worry about a letdown. But I think against Tennessee, I don't think that will happen. I'm going to take Georgia with 11.5 points. And last but not least, you've got Maryland off to an undefeated season so far, going on the road against Florida State. Florida State's favored by 15. Florida State coming off a so-so win against Boston College on the road. I think they won by 14. I like FSU to rebound. The last couple years when I've watched this game, Maryland's been predicted to kind of keep it close and kind of turn their season around and get going, and every year Florida State runs it up. So I'm going to take Florida State to cover 15. That's it for this week. Sorry for being so short, but I'm going to get back to the Cardinal game. Take care, guys.